don't get on here. Like, you think you about to get a brownie point because you're not watching the Super Bowl, dog? Like, no, you're just weird. Like, the rest of America is watching this thing and you just acting like you too cool for school. Like, all right, cool, move on then, loser. Like, you beat it. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing right now? But again, like I said, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to Jalen Hurts because, bro, niggas play with Jalen Hurts a lot. Like, a lot of sports media people put a lot of salt and a lot of shade on Jalen Hurts. And this is his second Super Bowl that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, if we're keeping it a bang. Of course, they lost the first one, so you don't really get to talk about it. But, dog, like this time, like, you know, he outplayed him again. He outplayed him on all levels. Like, it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, bro, man, shout out to Jalen Hurts. And it just shout out to him for never allowing just people to kind of talk him out of his game. Like, he got there, he did what he was supposed to. When it wasn't nothing to throw, he pulled it down and he ran with it. Like, of course, he threw that one interception, but he was trying to go to AJ early. Man, shout outs to him. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because it's just so much that you can, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Shout outs to the people who try to throw the monkey in the wrench with Saquon Barkley's wife. When they said he was pulling up her old tweets. I ain't gonna lie to you, them tweets was funny as hell, dog. Like, I'm not one of them people. I ain't one of the people who get offended by shit like super fast. Like, it got to be something real. And the tweets was super old. Like, bro, she was young as hell. Like, she was like 14 years old. But that cheetah nigga jump, oh my nigga, that shit was funny. And watching other people,
we all have tweets, and that's why I'm just like, dog.
See, I never used Twitter like for those type of things, so I don't have those type of tweets.
Yeah, especially back then, and when Twitter was Twitter, a lot of people said some wild ass shit.
Replace a Disney movie using the N-word, bro. The cheetah niggas was hilarious, though. I don't care what you say. Like, the cheetah niggas was funny as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally read that like 19 different times, and every time I read it, I laughed. Like, the gold digger part, I was like, all right, how you kind of like dragging it, but the cheetah niggas was hilarious. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, that was hilarious. But again, like I said, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to the fans in Philly. And then again, it's just one of those things where it's kind of just like, I think the Chiefs leaned into a lot of the whole little MAGA thing. Like, even, oh, matter of fact, how did I even start this without even playing this? Oh my God, I'm tripping.
You're a football fan. Size up these two teams.
I'm a big fan of both teams. They're sort of different. In Philadelphia, you have one of the greatest running backs, Saquon. You know, Saquon had an uncle who was a great fighter, and I ran Barkley, his name was. So you have a great running back. You really have a great quarterback. The other team, the quarterback really knows how to win. He is a great, great quarterback.
So, game prediction?
I hate to do it. I just say that I've watched this great quarterback who has, by the way, a phenomenal wife, okay? She's a Trump fan. She's a MAGA fan, so I happen to love her, okay? But she's a great person. I watched her being interviewed. I said, boy, that's pretty good. But she's great, and he's great. I guess you have to say that when a quarterback wins as much as he's won, I have to go with Kansas City. At the same time, Philadelphia has a fantastic. It's going to be just a great game.
And you know how piped up Philly is. Like, I got a homegirl of mine that I met on TikTok, and she was we were just DMing earlier, and we was talking about the game, and I was like, and she was just like, she was trying to hurry up, finish doing, you know, her regular normal Sunday stuff, so she can go outside. Like, that's just like what she kind of content she make. It's a lot of Philadelphia based content, like letting people know like what's the things to do in Philly. And she was like, bro, they were closing down streets already.
Yeah, and me and her don't know that.
Yeah, and that's what I say. I said, okay, that kind of. But when I thought about it, I'm like, damn, the game not even in Philly, and they blocking all streets already.
Yeah,
but then
I mean, win or lose, they still gonna go out.
They gonna go and pipe up, of course. But it was just crazy to think about. Like, I was literally DMing her, like, you talking about 12 o'clock. I mean, in the middle of the day, I'm kind of like, damn, they got the streets blocked off already. Like, I get it if you would have waited until like 6 or something, like after the game stopped, but you already got streets blocked off at the beginning, like the day literally just started. People ain't even made their way to the bar already, and you already kind of know what streets is already blocked off. So, like, man, no, when you sometimes we talk about sports cities, and we kind of even talked about this again last year when it was the Knicks fans that came down to Philly. Like, bro, Philly had one of those type of loyal fan bases that actually just like, you're not mad at it day one. Like, you can't even, especially if you are somebody who actually from the DMV, I'm sure you drove up to Philly maybe once or twice, maybe a couple different. You may make it a random trip off the regular if you really indulge in the cheesecakes and just pop up. I know endless people I follow and people I personally know who just make that trip up Philly all the time just for whatever purposes they may be going up there. So you can't realistically, like, those is our distance cousins, where it's like literally ain't nothing but an hour drive to make that move. So again, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, and just shout out to that whole team, because it's just so much. Man, they get so much slander. Like, if you really are one of those, like, if you somebody like me and you watch like or listen to a lot of sports podcasts, from whoever work at ESPN or people who work at Fox, especially if you're watching the main ones that's actually presented by ESPN or presented by Fox Sports, bro, they go so crazy. They talk about Jalen Hurts like he is dog doo. And for him to actually be able to realistically win the Super Bowl MVP and outplay Patrick Mahomes, and I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes, like this, I've never seen Patrick Mahomes look this bad. Like, bro, he looked horrible. Like, this was like the absolute worst game of you will probably ever see a Patrick Mahomes life. I'm not gonna hold you, dog. Like, he played so horrible, and I kind of like, I ain't gonna say I felt bad for what's my man Travis Kelce, but he kind of like he looked like he just was out there. Like, he was real live, just out there running, doing cardio, because Patrick Mahomes didn't even get a chance to look at this nigga at all. And you got to think about it. You got to think about how crazy the Eagles is with this win, realistically, because the youngin, what's his name, Jalen Carter, that played on the defense, he was a rookie last year, but you got to think about how he got all the way to the Eagles because of his drunk driving stuff. And that's what, I mean, of course, that kind of like, that probably won't never hunt nobody from Georgia ever again, but a lot of that.
Shit, he will be back next year then.
Who? Jay Carter?
No, when we talking about the Robert City, I was talking about the Kansas City. When you said I'm thinking about the one that was speeding.
Yeah.
And his mother was still in the package.
Yeah, not him. But just shout out to Slim. Like I said, for Carter, for Jalen Carter, for the Eagles, bro, he literally I forgot how far down he went in the draft, but bro, he dropped down a lot of spots because of his drinking and driving incident. So I'm sure there are so many GMs right now kicking themselves like, bro, we literally think about you let somebody go because of all the crazy stories of stuff you have heard from NFL players have done. For somebody to lose their draft stock because they was drinking and driving is absolutely ridiculous. And he has literally been balling all season, bro. He has been playing out of his mind the entire season. And let's be clear, like last year, he was a rookie. He really didn't hit his stride and really go crazy last season. But you could see the later the season got, the more aggressive he got, the harder he was playing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, shout out to the Eagles, though. And that's, y'all know me. I'm a huge black quarterback person. So Jalen Hurts been one of the guys that I've been talking about on this podcast for a minute now. So I'm super happy for Jalen Hurts. Damn, I'm really.
Shout out to what's his name, Smith. I didn't know he was the first Alabama wide receiver to any Alabama player to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Yeah, shout out to Devontae Smith. And that's again when we talk about that Philly. And of course, women will find, especially black women will find all the cool reasons to root for players. And I like that to me because it's like, as men, we just like players for whatever the reason. And of course, I'm probably one of the most different people when it comes to why I like certain players, especially quarterbacks, because they are black. But to see women just like, oh, I'm rooting for the Eagles because Devontae Smith proposed to his girlfriend and he got a black girlfriend. Because let's be clear, especially if you're on black Twitter, like they be dragged, like they would really be upset. Like niggas give Saquon a different pass because, of course, most of the people with huge platforms on social media, most of them are from New York. So people got a different type of love for Saquon Barkley. And I don't care. I'm not gonna lie to you. I always like if I didn't never see Saquon start doing the kissing jump on the stage, I would have always thought the Saquon Barkley girlfriend was Taylor Rooks. I'm not gonna hold you. But anyway, I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. But that's just how people pick up certain things. And then you see so many people who love Jalen Hurts because his whole entire team, his management team is all women. I believe 2 of them may not be black women, but everybody else on his management team is black, and he's engaged to a black woman. So of course, black people, especially black women, fall in love with these type of stories because it becomes like, oh, this is our team because Kansas City Chiefs got Patrick Mahomes and his MAGA wife. So we're gonna find out super OD black team and we're gonna root for them. Oh, and you in a super OD black city. And let's be clear, I'm sure people who may be watching it, let's be clear, Philadelphia, the people who really go crazy and turn up and pipe up are not the black people or the Eagles fans. So I'm not making it seem like, oh, we can't bond and have a good time with the white people, because you need the white people for the crazy turn up that's gonna eat the horse poop and knock down the lights and flip the cars, because black people ain't gonna do that. You need your white friends that's gonna crash out and flip a car to or set something on fire. So realistically, you need that energy. I'm not disclosing them from it because that's still what makes Philadelphia. But I do want to, again, I gotta shout out to Jalen Hurts because when you sit here, I'm sure leading into the week because of the Super Bowl conversation week, you'll see certain people put up the picture of, oh, Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes, and people will use the picture. Of course, if you haven't seen it, they'll compare it to who they are dating. Let me see. I think I got it saved in my phone. I'm almost 100% positive that I do. Where's that picture at? I ain't gonna say it in my phone. Oh yeah, I do. Here you go, right here. This picture that everybody, of course, we'd all seen. So people, and that go just floating around on social media, Patrick Mahomes and his wife versus Jalen Hurts and his fiance, and people will just kind of lean into those storylines. People, because of course, if you got your own favorite football team, you need to find other ways to make the storylines a little bit more personal to you, and that's what people do. That's why people like certain music, because the way I can make it more personal to me, the same way you made your favorite basketball player or team may be this because, especially college players, oh, because I went to this college. You make those things more personal. So that little storyline for, especially for Black women, they linked into that one heavy. So I'm sure a lot of people right now can enjoy their Black History Month. And the fact that you know that Donald Trump was picking the Chiefs because they were super MAGA. And I'm not gonna lie, nothing was crazier than sitting here watching Taylor Swift get booed. And that's how you know it was a bunch of Eagles fans in the building, because they booed Taylor Swift. That's how you know Philly was real live, really in the building. Like, that's how you know that Philly was in the building, because there's nowhere else on planet Earth that you will sit here and see Taylor Swift get booed besides Eagles fans. And that's why, if you are actually a real sports fans, you gotta love Eagles fans, because they are real live crash dummies, and they gonna crash out behind their mob all the time. I can't wait to watch the videos of Kevin Hart and Gilly the Kid and all of them actually just turning up. So again, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. And again, like I said, our white cousin for this summer is what's my man, Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean is definitely my white cousin. He get the invite to all the cookouts all summer long, all sodas and glizzies on me. Pause, no Diddy. I guess moving into just when we real quick, because we talking about kind of just age and how you like